Right, so we are back again. Now we're gonna deal with MIDI controls and clip arrangement. So basically MIDI controls, I'm just gonna close this here because I want to start from scratch. Okay, cool. So MIDI controls basically allow you to change certain aspects of the MIDI data, right? You do find different options of MIDI controls. We're just gonna go to a couple of them. So how you access MIDI controls is by going to this mark right here. You see where my mouse is hovering. If I hover right there, you see show and hide automation lanes. So you can click on it, and let me just extend that a bit bigger. And then you'll find different types of MIDI controls. One of the major ones that we normally use is velocity. Velocity basically speaks to the volume, right, or the loudness of that MIDI data that is going through, how loud you want it to be. So you can click and bring it up or down to reduce the volume of the note, right? You can also do this within the MIDI editor. Let's go and press Control equals. On Mac, it will be Control equals, and you can see that there's velocity again. So if I change my velocity, it will also reflect on my edit window. So you can access MIDI controls. Let me just expand that a bit up right there. You can access MIDI controls right from the bottom within your MIDI editor, right? So you can access different MIDI controls like MIDI volume, MIDI mute, MIDI pan, pitch bend, mono aftertouch, etc., etc. Right, so that's a good thing to know, that you can access them both on MIDI editor and also on your edit window. But we're gonna go to our edit window because I want to show you clips more likely. So let's press on Command equals on Mac. Will be Command equals, and you see the note that I changed there, right, is also changed or reflects on my MIDI editor as I was working on my pad sound, not on my lead sound or my bass sound. So this MIDI information right here, or MIDI control, literally is for this clip right here or for this track right here. Let's be more definitive and say that's for this track right here, not just for this MIDI clip right here, right, or this MIDI clip here. So if I wanted to then change MIDI controls for my lead synth, I'd also have to come here, click on it, and then I can drag open and change MIDI controls for this lead synth right here, right? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. So I'm going to close it by clicking on this button right here, and we're just going to continue on this one. So when it comes to MIDI controls basically you can draw the information or you can alter it. So let's just work on the synth one because I want to work on something that's got more MIDI. So I'm gonna then close this one. I'm gonna open the synth one. Let's just here on the MIDI controls, and let's deal with pitch bend, right? Of which at the same time I could change and go to velocity if I want to. As you can see, the different volumes for the different MIDI notes that are there. And if I want to, I can go to volume, change that volume if I want to, increase it slightly, depends on you. And so I'm going to use pitch bend in this case, right? So how you basically alter this, you can use a grabber tool, right here. This is the grabber tool. Click on it. You're going to get the grabber tool, add what we call automation points, right? And then you can draw with your grabber tool automation points and just alter them depending on how you want them to be, right? Or I'm going to undo that. You can come with the pencil tool, this baby right here, right? The pencil tool, and click and draw freehand depending on how you want it to look. And there you've got basically this MIDI controls altered now, and you're going to hear different effects coming from it. In this case, since I'm using pitch bend, we'll be bending the pitch of the notes that are here, literally that are here, and that will come through in this track right here, which contains the audio information for the MIDI data here, as we had routed it on our previous video. Right, cool. Now, another aspect I want to show you is that MIDI controls is associated with a clip. Now, what is a clip? This is a clip, right? This track right here. I'm just going to close this so that I don't get you confused. This is a clip, this is a clip, this is a clip, right? Here I've got one clip, that's a second clip for this track, and this is the third clip. This is the third clip in the session, but for this track. So this track has got one clip, this track has got one clip on it, and this track has got one clip on it. A clip is basically, should I say, the boundaries that encompass the information or data that you want or that you have within a particular range, right? The range for a clip, for example, for bass is from the start here to the end here. That denotes the clip. All the information that's contained here is contained in one particular clip. If you want to then create another clip or maybe break this clip into half, I can easily come, for example, with the selector tool, select right here where I want to break it and press Command E to separate it. Now I've got two clips, right? If I come with my grabber tool and I click it and I drag it, I've got two clips in this track where previously I only had one, right? But this is what I want to show you. Now that we understand what a clip is, I want us to grasp this information there, that MIDI controls are associated to a clip, meaning that if I move this clip like this, the MIDI controls will follow the clip. If I copy the clip by clicking on Alt, click, and drag, I'm copying a clip right now, the MIDI controls will also get copied with the clip, right? As you can see right here. And that's very important information to know, because when you are producing or creating an instrumental using MIDI, you're going to be copying back and forth, etc., moving tracks. It's good information to know that that clip, if it has any information or any change within its MIDI controls, they will move together with that MIDI, right? So if you want to then delete the MIDI control, you can come with the selector tool right here, click and select the parts that you want to delete and press delete, and it will delete all that MIDI, those MIDI control information or edits that you had made on the MIDI control lane, which is this one in this case, right? I hope you guys have a clear understanding on how that works, right? Cool. So now we understand clips, and now we're going to deal with a bit of arrangement. So I just showed you how to copy clips. You can, with the grabber tool, select your clip, right? And then Alt click, and that will create a copy, right? If I want to change a clip's length, I want to use my trim tool, this tool right here, and I can come to the end or the beginning of the clip, click and drag, and that will change its length. But it's not changing its length by shortening the notes or putting them closer together. No, it cuts them out, meaning that if I drag and open again, those notes that were hidden will show up again, right? So if I click up to here, I'm not bringing the notes together. What am I doing? I'm just cutting out the notes that I don't need within my arrangement, right? And if I want to move it now, I can come with my grabber tool, click and move, right? There are shortcuts for this grabber tool, for these tools that you can learn over time. I'm just showing you this and moving my mouse so that you can actually see where I'm going, what is called the grabber tool, what is called the selector tool, and what is called the trim tool, and what is called the pencil tool. I'll also be using the shortcuts, and it will be a bit difficult to show you guys how this actually works, right? So that comes to moving clips. Yes, another question that might arise is, can I move a clip from one track to another? Yes, you can. I can move this MIDI clip to here, right? But what's important to understand that now that I've moved it from the lead synth to the bass synth, this clip now is not triggering the lead synth anymore, right? But it is triggering the bass sound because it's on the bass track, right? It's important to know. So if I take this and shift it down all the way to my instrument track, right, I'm not triggering any of the sounds that come through this track right here, but I'm triggering any sound that comes from this track right here, which is the instrument track, because the MIDI is on the instrument track, right? So I wanted you guys to also understand that in the cases of arrangement, right? And if you want to delete a clip, you can click on it just the way I've selected this one. This one is selected with the grabber tool and click on delete, and that will remove MIDI, that will bring it back, right? Or that will remove the MIDI clip. If, for example, I had now separated my bass clip and maybe you've lost the clip like this one, right? I've now bass number 4. I deleted this by mistake. Bam, right? I could undo, right? But let's say I notice it after steps down the line. I can go then grab the clip from here, which is bass 4, right? Click it, drag it into the session like nothing happened before. And if I want to extend it, I can now come with my trim tool, right, and open up. Now what does it do? It literally shows all the other MIDI notes that were here, right there, and they're also right in this section here. Just to understand that clips are also continuous, right? And that's some important information to understand there. Right, guys, that will end the video when it comes to MIDI controls and clip arrangement. The next video will be based on changing clips into audio.